There are 1,000,002 travel photography setups out there, but today I'm going to show you mine. First, we need to talk about this camera. This is the Fujifilm X-T100, and I just started a 3-month series where I'm going to be covering this camera. This camera is weirdly uncovered by YouTube in the modern era, and I think that's because it's just kind of a weird proposition to buy. If you saw my previous video, you'll know that I got this thing for essentially free in a bundle deal with a couple lenses. But if you're going to be buying one, you can expect to pay around $500 to $600 on eBay these days. And first, I want to tell you the good things about it, because we don't want to talk about bad things yet, do we? So one of the best things about this camera is that it has a 24 megapixel Bayer sensor, and I know that may sound weird to a lot of you because Fuji has built their whole system and reputation around the X-Trans system, which is basically a different way of laying out the color pixel things on the sensor. And when I say Bayer, it may sound less premium or less exciting to you, but don't fret. This is the type of sensor that almost every professional camera out there from Sony, Canon, and the like use. It's just Fujifilm that wanted to switch things up. Bayer sensor is not a deal breaker. If anything, it's a slight advantage over X-Trans. Most of those film simulation, color science, amazing JPEG things that you love about Fujifilm are the same here, and that's because it has the same processor as all the other Fuji cameras. It's just the sensor that's different. Another really cool thing that I wish this X-T5 that I'm shooting on right now had is a flip out screen, because that just makes this the ultimate selfie camera. It's just a neat feature to have. Another thing that I find kind of cool and unique about this camera is that it has a film simulation dial, and it's technically unlabeled. You might be able to map it to something else, but I've just been using it for film sims, and it's kind of cool that you can just on the fly, without going into any menus, flip between your film sims. But now we need to talk about the bad things, and one of the bad things is that you cannot save custom film sims to this camera, which is just a bummer, honestly. I like having a low contrast, a high contrast, and just a bunch of other options that I can quickly flip between for my professional work, for my daily street use, and all the above. But you just can't save custom presets on this thing. You can do presets, like you can do film recipes on here. You can change the highlights, you can change the shadows, but you can't quickly flip between different settings that you have with presets. Another bad thing is that the dials are PSAM oriented, which is basically how every digital camera works, except for Fujifilm and a couple exceptions. Basically, it means you're not going to be setting your ISO and shutter speed on the top dials as much as you're going to be doing that in the menus, which I find a little annoying, and it kind of makes me just want to shoot in automatic instead of manual mode. And when I do need to shoot in manual mode, it just confuses the hell out of me because I'm not used to it. My first serious photography camera was an X-T3, and that's how I learned manual settings, so going back to PSAM is just a little bit hard for me. There's advantages. It's quicker sometimes, but it's a little weird. And it kind of strays away from what I know and love about Fujifilm, which is that tactile experience. The build quality is just also not the greatest. It's actually not as bad as you would expect. Like, you do get some metals in here, but the plastic and it makes like creaking sounds just kind of detract from the experience compared to something like an X-T1, which is just a brick. I should also mention it's not the fastest camera. It'll freeze up sometimes, and I've noticed the autofocus being a little bit sluggish at times, which is annoying if you're trying to get a really fast shot, but yeah, it's not the worst aspect of the camera, that's for sure. But now we need to talk about this lens, because believe it or not, this is the crown jewel of my travel photography kit. This is the Fujifilm XF 35mm f2 lens. It's one of Fuji's best lenses, in my opinion. I actually made a review on it before, but I'll just give you a quick recap now. And funny enough, I'm actually using it on this camera right here, and also the camera that I'm shooting this on. So yeah, fair to say I like this lens. If I had to list out all the good things really quick, I would say the best thing about this XF 35mm f2 is the autofocus, because it is so fast. I've actually seen people on Reddit saying this is the fastest autofocusing Fujifilm lens, and I believe them honestly. It just snaps into focus. Another amazing thing about this lens is the tactility of the aperture ring. I mean, that is something that I value in a lens, and it just makes it that much more fun to use and just satisfying to click through the apertures. Speaking of aperture, f2 is plenty good for most low light situations and getting that nice background blur that you see here, because I'm shooting on this lens right now. I have it here and there. Okay, wow. This lens is also surprisingly small. It's kind of the size of a vintage 50mm, which honestly really surprises me because it's a digital lens. It has autofocus, really fast autofocus. Speaking of 50mm, this is 50mm equivalent on a crop sensor camera like most Fujifilm cameras are. 50mm is basically what the eye sees if we had to pick a focal length for the eye, which is difficult, but that just means it's going to be the perfect all-around lens to get portraits, to get environmental shots, and all of the above. It's not going to excel at any one specific area, but it's just a good generalist lens, and especially considering the size, may as well put it on your camera. And the final nice to have is that this thing is weather sealed, which isn't actually that much of a benefit on the X-T100, but if you have something like an X-T1, an X-T2, or an X-T5, then you're gonna love that, because it means that you don't have to worry as much about shooting in the rain or shooting on the beach like I am right now. So yeah, this lens is kind of freaking perfect, but there's other things in the kit too that I feel like I should mention. Obviously, you can't take photos without an SD card, so I've got one of those. Link in description. You also definitely cannot take photos without a battery, especially on a Fujifilm camera that's gonna eat through them, so should probably have 2 of those. Have one charging, have one in the camera. Again, link in description. But what's not maybe as obvious as a battery or an SD card is that I always like to have a quality camera strap with me. My camera straps are from Peak Design, and no, I am not sponsored by them, but I do love them. They are super high quality and they're totally worth the premium in my opinion, because you just have the peace of mind. This isn't gonna break, and it's also incredibly convenient with their anchors because you can just take off the strap like that. You don't have to do all that weird tying stuff. And hey, now I've got no strap. Now I've got a strap. That simple. It'll hold any camera real easy. I find the strap just makes it that much easier to travel with the camera. You don't always have to have your hand on it. I'm hands-free right now. It's very comfortable. It just feels like I'm wearing a bag or something. I usually just put them slinged over my shoulder like this across my body, and it's a super comfortable way just to have the camera with you at all times. And probably the least obvious thing that I like to take everywhere with me is this little lightning to SD card adapter that I use with my iPhone. You can get these for USB-C, USB-A, anything you want. This adapter lets me transfer photos from my X-T100 to my phone with ease, not using Fuji's like wireless transfer app that I find cumbersome. I just plug this thing into my phone, put the SD card in there, and suddenly my photos are accessible on my phone. It's that simple, and it's really worth investing in one of these. Again, link in description. Highly recommend. It's also good practice to have something like a little blower or microfiber cloth to clean off your lenses and maybe even your sensor if you're that adventurous, but I don't find myself using those much. But hold on. That is a lot of that you have to carry around, but I've got a solution. Peak Design Field Pouch is where I carry all of my stuff that I've mentioned in the above section, and I find that it's just the perfect size to carry everything but a camera. I can barely fit this X-T100 in it with a pancake lens, let alone this 35mm, but what I can do is fit almost any Fujifilm lens in this bag and then just carry that around as an extra lens. Can also carry all those accessories I mentioned. It's just a great like place to put all my stuff and just forget about it. Sling it over my shoulder, there it is. Can put a snack in there too. I'm a guy that will get most excited about a trip when I can envision cool photography being done there. And this particular setup is kind of perfect for me right now, just to carry around everywhere I go and just get cool photos. So yeah, I hope this video helped you or can inspire you to go out and shoot with your kit. Photography is for life. Cameras are also for life?